and that is the Memphis Tigers got hit. Well, they didn't.
Did they?
They did not.
I don't think they got hit.
This is what they got. A little tap on the wrist. Not even a slap. Yeah. They got nothing. The IRP. It was the second one that this so-called independent process that is going to be defunct, by the way, because it's been a complete shit show. NC State was the first one. NC State got nothing. Gottfried, I think, got a 1-year show cause. Orlando Early got a 6-year show cause on this Memphis one, which ties in Penny Hardaway giving improper benefits to James Wiseman for him to move from Nashville to Memphis when he was a high school player so that Penny could coach him at Memphis East and AAU ball. They found that Penny was, I guess, not guilty, right? Not guilty.
Well, it sounds like it wasn't not guilty. It was more the committee found that he had been giving charitable acts to all sorts of players, correct? Yeah. And because he had been, giving it to Joe Davis and Jeff Smith and everybody in that community, which he has been extremely charitable with his time and money in the city of Memphis. But because of that, they were able to say that it wasn't done for recruiting. But my argument to that would be, well, if you have a lot of money, you can just be charitable and then be like, ooh, number one player. Yeah. We're going to be more charitable with him. You know what I mean? So I mean, I could see either way. To me, the craziest thing is I was at Memphis the night that went down.
I remember.
I had forgot.
Yes.
Because that was like 3 years ago. That was pre-COVID.
Yeah, so they were playing like Alcorn State or somebody like that, wasn't it?
UIC.
I remember because I was with my daughter. I don't know what we were doing. I think we were going to like a BU game or something, and we were in a hotel, and I did a quick video. And I remember talking to you that night when it all kind of came down.
It was a wild deal, and I'd forgotten.
Wiseman played 3 games. He played 3 games.
I know. And now, I mean, he's like, what? This is his 2nd year in the NBA. He's an NBA champion, 3rd year in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, the speed of this is comical.
Yeah.
You cannot wait all the, like the fact that Kansas still nothing.
Right.
I mean, this is a joke. It
Kansas,
is totally
Kansas, Arizona, Louisville, all waiting. And LSU will be the last one. And I would expect, but listen, I was going to say I would expect them all. Louisville maybe withstanding because they already took a postseason ban. So I think Arizona took a postseason ban too. So we'll see. But
they did that with crappy teams, much like Auburn for sure did. Arizona, young team, Coach Miller's last year. They weren't going to be bad, but they were not a lock to make the NCAA tournament that year.
That's right.
Those young guys out there. There has to be a better process than this. I cannot.
Well, here's what's going to happen. I think here's where it's headed, Rob. From every source that I've talked to, where it's headed is the postseason ban is going to be a thing of the past. And instead of the postseason ban, where you're penalizing kids, they're now going to hit coaches with suspensions. And not just regular season suspensions. You could well see a Bill Self get a 7-game regular season suspension and also not be eligible to coach in the NCAA tournament. It would not shock me. Now, again, things can change.
Can he appeal that?
Not if you're in the IARP process, which again will be the greatest thing of this. I remember talking to the woman who was in charge of it when it first started up. And I remember asking her, and I said, like, all right, you got this new independent. That was a big thing, right? The word independent.
Right. It's not a biased NCAA person coming down on somebody.
I said, well, whose rules are they following? Well, the NCAA's. I said, who are they being trained by? Well, still the NCAA. I said, well, how the hell is it independent then? It's the same shit. You're just putting the word independent there to make it look like it's independent, but it's the same old bullshit. And again, it took forever. And, that's where Greg Sankey and this commission or committee or whatever it is are trying to speed up the process and make changes.
That's got to change.
Yeah.
But the thing is that's a killer in this. Let me ask, did Oklahoma State go IARP?
No, they did not.
So they went NCAA and get banned from the postseason. I mean, that is terrible.
And appealed and lost. That
is terrible.
Stupid.
Mike Boynton has every right to be so furious, as he should be. And I'm
he's
sure
the only one. Everybody else, now again, you could say Auburn, But Auburn took it like you talked about 2 years ago when they weren't going to get in the NCAA tournament. It was a COVID year. Sharif Cooper was they weren't going anywhere.
Right.
All the other schools got a slap on the wrist. You get a $5,000 fine, whether it's USC, South Carolina,
oh no,
Alabama, right? Probation, big effing deal.
Programs. I mean,
right?
Come on.
So now you have all these coaches that are texting me the other day, and they're like, "Well, like nobody's really gotten hit. Why am I going to be scared of anything of the NCAA now? Like I'm just going to cheat my ass off." And again, cheating your ass off is different now because you got NIL.
Right.
So you can legally cheat your ass off for the most part. But again, we'll talk to Kelvin Sampson about this later, but you're not supposed to provide inducements for recruits NIL wise. Well, that shit's going on everywhere right now.
Well, yes, it is. Why would anyone, if they get dinged right now until the IARP is gone, why would you not go that route? Seeing everybody else.
Gone, though. You can't now. I don't think you can.
You can't even select it.
You already have to have done it. You have to be 3 years in the process.
This is a quick process for the IARP.
Exactly. In and out. Not one and done, but might as well be because it sucked.
This feels weird though. I want to crush the NCAA, but it's not even. I mean, I guess it is sort of their thing. They train these guys, but it's like, what is this shit?
But Penny Hardaway and Memphis were celebrating earlier this week because from everything I was told, Penny thought he was going to get hit.
Really?
We all did. Everybody thought he was going to get some sort of suspension for this, and he got nothing. And again, I'm done with all this. I am so over all this. Even Dickie V is like tweeting out like, what are we doing? This has been it's over 5 years.
About this, if you get caught cheating and they're like, oh, Coach Jeff Goodman suspended 5 games, you're like, all right, I've got an All-American here balling. Like, I'll take that.
This is how long ago it was, Rob. This is how long ago. I don't know. I think I've told you this, but maybe I haven't. When it all broke, I was in Newport, Rhode Island with ESPN, and it all broke in the morning. And I was in Newport to cover Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward's first training camp with the Boston Celtics.
Wow.
That day. And I still did. I went there, and it was so funny. They called me to ESPN right away. They're like, hey, can you do a hit on SportsCenter? And I'm like, no, hell no. I have to read up on this. Like, I'm not going out there.
That's why they had me out there on SportsCenter after the game, because you couldn't do it. I
declined. I was like, I need to find out more info. I'm not going out there without having information about what this whole thing is about. Now, I went out. I talked about the Celtics, and Kyrie was not happy with me that day or that whole month because I kept asking him about why he left Cleveland, and Kyrie didn't want to talk about that.
I'm sure he didn't.
Yes, he did not.
We're dropping our merch.
We got to start calling Underwood Daddy Brad.
But I'm a big pod guy.
Breaking news. The Field of 68 has an online store, and it's your one-stop shop for the latest and greatest merch in college basketball and college football. You can find shirts to support your favorite team, make fun of your rival team, or boast Field of 68 catchphrases like Daddy Brad, Cussin' and Discussin', and the Star Heels. Go to www.fieldof68.shop today and enter promo code TOUCHDOWN for 20% off at checkout.